Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about hurting your career and what it means. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Fred, a lot of the times you talk about hurting your career. How would you define this? Is there anything that doesn't lead to is anything that doesn't lead to optimal professional and personal development improvement in the context of your career a hindrance? Well, no, I wouldn't say that because everybody is kind of different. I am a firm believer in the saying that success means something different to everybody. I think that is absolutely true. I think that everybody has like a vague understanding of the common characteristics of success, like the common properties that we as a society in many parts of the world deem to be things that have proven that, yeah, this is success to us. But like if we get down to the details and we go into like personal happiness and satisfaction and stuff like that, every single person is different. You are the only version of you that we have, and what makes you happy is so far beyond complex that really only you at the root of it will know exactly what success means to you. But if we go with a definition where success in the common sense, well, if that's the case, then yes, I would say that my perspective on that, and when I usually say that certain things will enable you or hinder your career, I'm basing what I'm saying on what is the most common achievements that people in our industry are looking for in order to achieve success. Now, the common things that usually people are looking for when they are searching for success within IT is number one, that they become a technical expert of some sort. They become really good at what they do. Number two, and some people don't even go here. Like they don't. This is not right for them. They go and become a bit of a ladder climber. They become an architect. They become some type of manager or something like that. There's a lot of people who are looking to be that as well. And third and lastly, there are quite a lot of people who want to get the skills to start their own business or become the manager, like the boss of their own company, things like that. These are the common things that most software developers are looking for in terms of success. But there's many other ways that you can achieve success. I mean, if your biggest career goal is to, I don't know, create the next biggest open source project, well then yeah, it doesn't really matter all that much if you, I don't know, if you've worked years and years and years at a really massive company. You can still create one of those projects without necessarily having that knowledge. So when I usually say that, for example, in this question was posted on a video where I talked about that working completely in isolation will hurt your career. Now, the reason why I state that is because number one, you will, at a personal development level, not evolve as much as if you had coworkers just off the bat, because you don't have anybody to rubber duck with. You don't have any other person's perspective. So unless you are literally a super genius, you're not going to develop as much. Number two in that scenario is that if you are completely alone, you won't get exposure to the environment where most managers need to work. And that is a social environment. There are people everywhere, and you have to manage expectations and deal with all the like the jargon and all the different requirements that are part of the IT industry is usually happening in a team-based environment. So that's touching on number two. Number three is if you want to start your own company, you can start your own company today. If you want, if you can literally start your, I mean, if you have no requirements on how your company is going to be run, then you can start today and you can kind of learn as you go along. But I can tell you from experience that usually the most successful startups or the most successful consultancies and agencies and like people who go in it by themselves, they usually have some prior experience. It's not that common to see someone who starts from absolute zero, who's never written a single line of code, and all of a sudden they're running Facebook. It usually doesn't go that way. There's usually some factor related to prior experience or working in a specific sort of environment. With that said, doesn't mean that it can't happen. Now, So what I usually try to say when I say that you're hurting your career is from that perspective, because that is the normal, and I know I've said this a few times before. When I try to give advice without having more information, because as I said, everybody's different, so there's no way for me to, like, it would be really weird for me to sit here and try to give advice on how you can become the most successful graphics algorithm writer, or like the best physics engine developer. That's very, very specific. There's not that many people who are looking to become that, but there are a lot of people who are looking to become a manager, a tech expert within web development, or start their own company or things like that. So that's what I go for. On the other hand, when I have questions that are much more specific, now if you get into the details, then you will see that my answer is going to be more tailored towards that individual need as opposed to the common whole. So what I want you to take away from this is that what I mean, and I think that this should be just fairly straightforward for every single industry out there, should be probably the same thing. When I say that you're hurting your career, what I'm saying is that every decision that you make, regardless of what it is going to have an effect on your long-term goals. If you don't know what your long-term goals are, then nothing you do will matter, because you don't have a vision. You're not going anywhere. You don't have any ambition. Therefore, there is practically no right or wrong answer. I like to say that every single day you open some doors and you close some doors, because every day you're making decisions. If you want to be a professional athlete and you eat junk food every single day, that's you being counterproductive to that end goal. If you are working in complete isolation on small-time projects, if your desire is to become a manager at a big IT company, that is counterproductive. That is you damaging your career prospects. That doesn't mean that it isn't right for you. If that's what you want to do, if your career ambition is to be a freelancer, make some extra money on the side, or run your own company without any real desire to become like a Fortune 500 company, I don't know. If it doesn't really matter to you, and what you're really about is to have some fun and just get some money out of the whole process, then there's not that many things that you can do to hinder your career. So keep that with you. Whenever you have an idea of what your long-term ambition is, you should know that every day you have the opportunity to make decisions that will either keep that door open or make it very easy, make it more feasible for you to reach that goal. And there are things that you can do that is not working in your favor in that area. That doesn't mean that those things are bad. It's just that for that specific thing, there are better things that you could be doing. And those are the things that I try to give you advice on. I'm trying to give you an insight into what sort of decisions should you try to make on the way to become one of these three that I've talked about. A tech expert within the web space, and more specific things, of course, if we talk about that. A tech lead, or team lead, an architect, a manager, something like that. Or start and run your own company with lots of employees or something like that. These are the sorts of things that is most of what I talk about when we talk about career prospects. Have a great day.